Friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out Pinterest. I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things that are catching my eye. I hope you are looking forward to the fall and for the decorating as much as I am. So go ahead and grab something cozy, sit back, and let's chat all things fall. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm happy you're here today because today is the day we are talking about fall decorating. Now I know I've hit up some stores and I've shared with you a few videos from fall decorating in years past. However, it's time to start planning the decor for this season. Now, I do have a couple of sneak peeks there in the back because I already have done my decorating, but a lot of you guys are interested in seeing sort of like the thought process behind that. And so I did this last year at Christmas time, and it was really fun to just kind of share some of my pins with you and show you the things that inspire me. So if you love all things home and all things decor, you are definitely in the right place. Be sure and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you won't miss out on any future decorating fun. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Jen and I love decorating. I change my home out all the time. Don't let the fall vibes fool you. It's super hot outside. In fact, I live in Central Florida and we are on the tail end of a tropical storm. Today, we're having a lot of rain and a lot of wind and gusts, and it just felt like the right day to start thinking about planning fall because we're kind of in the house with all the rain and all the flooding, and so it felt like a perfect day to just grab a cup of coffee and check out Pinterest for some fall inspirations. So I've got my laptop here. If you see me glancing down from time to time, I'm just referring to a lot of the images, and I will go ahead and pop the pictures up here so that you can take a look at what I'm talking about. I want to start with color scheme. Now, one of the things that I have done in the past for my color scheme is just the traditional orange and green and brown, and I kind of want to move away from that a little bit and move into a little bit more of a moody look. I want to enhance a little bit more of the brown. I did brown last year for Christmas, and I'm thinking that if I can find items for the fall time that will easily transition in with that fall to Christmas timeline, then a lot of the items that I can use for both of the seasons, and it'll save me money in the long run. And so that's sort of my thing that I'm thinking of. I did want to also incorporate a little bit of plum, and so when I'm looking at this wreath from Target, I love the florals in this wreath. I think it's really beautiful. You can see it's got a lot of sort of those burgundies and plums. They're really warm, rich, bold tones, but it does have some contrasting colors as well. It's got some neutral and a little bit even of some light green to help kind of play off of that plum or burgundy color. I think this wreath is really gorgeous, and this is sort of the place that I want to go when I'm talking color. You can see here on this color palette that I found on Pinterest from Posies Designs, it is definitely saturated color. We've got everything from that neutral tan at the top down to almost a black, brownish black down at the bottom, and it is just gorgeous. I am loving all of the colors in this image, and I want to try to make the transition from just those greens and rust colors into more of this moody, romantic, dramatic look here in my downstairs. Now, don't worry, I'm not getting rid of all of the rust and the burnt umber colors. I'm actually planning on doing a fall bedroom decorate this year. I haven't really done much in my bedroom because I'm planning a makeover in there, and I want to get a new bed, and there's just all kinds of things I want to do in there. But I really do want to decorate in there for the fall. I've got some thrifted furniture that I'm going to be making over in the future, and so I kind of want to bring some of the burnt umber and rust colors upstairs for the fall so that I can play around with them in my bedroom, and I may end up sharing that with you guys too. Leave me a comment below if you'd be interested in seeing that. Now, I also want to talk a little bit about these mauve flowers. These are a little different than the ones I found at Hobby Lobby, but I am loving the idea of bringing in these mauve plum hydrangeas for the fall season. I think they are gorgeous. And like I said, the image here is a little bit lighter in color. You know what? Let me just go get the ones that I have. Okay, so I'm back, and these are the florals that I'm talking about. These are absolutely gorgeous. They have this beautiful sort of faded plum color, and I think they're really, really pretty. I actually grabbed 8 of these stems while I was in Hobby Lobby. I played around a little bit with sort of finding some vessels and taking a look at how they look in the vessel, but I love the way these will help me transition from fall into winter. And I love the color of these stems too. They're not green. The leaves are brown, so they're definitely leaning more fall, and I love the way these are going to bring in a little bit of the color scheme that I had just been mentioning with you, that is a little bit more romantic and a little bit more sort of moody and bold and saturated. So these are a great find. Head to Hobby Lobby if you want these, because I had a feeling that they were going to go quickly, and when I got to the store there were only 3 left. I went to a different store and I found 5 of them. There were still a few in that store, so if you like these, head on out to Hobby Lobby. Don't miss out on these. These are a really good price. I took the price tag off already. I don't remember what they were, but they're definitely a good price, and you can get them 40% off. Many of you guys know about the Hobby Lobby sale. So I want to talk a little bit about lighting. When it comes to lighting, a lot of people don't realize that the temperature of the lighting really does matter. You've got so many different color variations when it comes to temperature with lighting. And so for the fall time especially, I love to go with warm lighting, and that is a really important thing to consider. So when we're talking about lighting, we're talking about warm versus cool. And that is something that a lot of people don't necessarily consider when they're thinking about their decor. I think it's really important, and I think that mismatched lighting especially looks really off. And so if that's something you're struggling with in your decorating, you know, you love your items and you love the placement of everything, but it still feels a little off, check into your lighting, because you can see from this image here, there is a lot of variation in color when it comes to warm versus cool lighting. So that's something to think about, because I love the idea of bringing in warm lighting. I think that's a great look for the fall time because it's cozy and welcoming. And you can see with this image here from the home of Ash that it's definitely warm, cozy lighting. You can see from the image at the top behind where that warm colored lighting is coming from behind the tree. Most candlelight is warm lighting, and so you want to try to find lights that sort of resemble candlelight. So hopefully that will be helpful to you. But I just love the image here that we're looking at, because I think it is the perfect blend of neutrals and fall colors without being in your face, right? So it's, if you like a neutral look, which I do tend to like a neutral look. I know a minute ago I was talking about bringing in bold saturated colors, but that would be as a contrast, right? So I like to keep a neutral base. That way it's very easy to change the contrasting colors, and those would be considered the accent colors. And that actually helps me to transition from season to season as well. So this one has beautiful plaids on the pillows and the couch. You can see those muted plaid colors are really gorgeous. It also has a lot of warm wood tones. The furniture in the back is warm wood. It's definitely not a modern look. It even looks like in the back of the image the wall is a stone, which I would love to incorporate some stone in my house, but that's definitely not gonna happen this coming year because that's a little bit of an expense for just a cosmetic change. But you can accomplish that warm look with just the items that you bring in and the lighting that you choose. Now you can take a look here at this image from woodcraftify.com, and it is definitely on the lines of that neutral look that I had just been mentioning. I love the way they are bringing in the patterns on the pillows. That gingham in the front pillow is really cute, and then they've got some contrasting, almost rust colors on the pillows as well. Take a look at the lights in the background. Again, I cannot emphasize that enough. But warm lighting. It looks like they have maybe fairy lights stringing down from their hutch. It looks like they may have a candelabra chandelier at the top, which is bringing in a lot of that warm lighting as well. And you guys, honestly, the best candles. I love real candles. I love live flame, but in Florida it's way too hot, and I know a lot of people sort of are nervous about live flames as well, especially if they have kids and pets. So one of the best hacks that I have found that I use all the time in my decorating are these from Amazon. These are battery powered remote control. They have a timer, so they come on and off, and you don't even have to mess with them, but the glow is absolutely gorgeous, and it doesn't add heat to your house, and it doesn't increase your risk of fire, which, you know, definitely during the cooler months when we're burning candles, that's a concern. So, you know, if you want to bring in that cozy, warm ambiance without having the live flames, definitely check these out. I will link them below too if you haven't had a chance to check them out on Amazon yet. Now back to the image here, you can see that they are keeping with just the traditional colors of fall, the oranges and rusts, and I think that's absolutely beautiful in a neutral backdrop. Now we're going to show you just one more with the neutral backdrop, but I really, again, I want to emphasize lighting here because it makes a huge difference. Check out the lights. I think they're candle lights in the back, possibly fairy lights lit on maybe like the hutch, but it is just stunning. I love the way they have all of their pillows and everything on the couch is neutral, and then they have that one orange pumpkin in the front that really pops. So keeping things neutral is definitely a nice way to go when it comes to bringing in those pops of colors that represent fall. But this is one that anybody can accomplish if you have a neutral base. This one is one of my favorite images for the fall season on my Pinterest. It's from serenitystylesolutions.com, and they are showing us this really beautiful evening look at someone's living room. Now, again, you can see the cozy warm lighting. Even the lampshade has a warm tone to it, right? It almost looks like a burlap. It's off-white. It's definitely not that crisp white. Those little details really do help bring in that entire look together to one cohesive look, right? So this image would be totally thrown off if that lampshade was a crisp, bright white, but because it has those warm undertones, even in the lampshade, it really does bring everything together. They have stuck with sort of browns and neutrals again, which I'm kind of drawn to. I think this image is gorgeous. It's got a lot of pumpkins there on the shelving to the right. And the lighting is just everything in this image, right? So when you're thinking about fall, the days get shorter, so we have more nighttime hours to deal with, and having a living room that's lit up and cozy with warm lighting is definitely something that I look forward to for the fall and winter season. Now I want to show you this final image of this staged room here, because this one brings in a little bit more of those rustic elements. A lot of you guys like that. I have a very rustic coffee table, so I'm always sort of trying to blend like that rustic look with a little bit more of like a casual modern. But this one is gorgeous. Again, it's got the neutral couch, and you can see this big, beautiful spray of leaves here in the front on the coffee table. And then pretty much everything else is neutral. You can see again that stone wall. I guess I'm drawn to that, you guys, because that is just absolutely gorgeous. But I do like the idea of having a little bit of a rustic look. So I really like the way they staged this neutral rustic room. So I also want to share with you this tablescape. I found this on Amazon. This gauze is absolutely beautiful. This is from Amazon.com, and it definitely screams fall, right? So I love the way those creamy white plates sort of pop off of this beautiful rust colored gauzy fabric. This is such a simple tablescape, and it's very natural. It's got the pine cone garland runner going through the center, and then just some simple silverware there. It's not overdone. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And I do like to keep my tablescape pretty simple for the fall season. I don't tend to do large, lush garlands. If you saw my fall tablescape from last year, you know I pretty much had just a few items there running through the center, and that was it. Not a lot of florals on the table runner. Now I wanted to share with you this rug that I saw on Wayfair. I want a living room rug so bad, but every time I go to buy one, I put it in my cart and I'm shopping around, and then I don't know, I chicken out and I just close down the browser. So I haven't actually bought one yet, but this one is gorgeous from Wayfair. It's gold and gray and cream. It's a 3x5 and it's $40. But I'm sure they have different sizes as well. I would probably need like a I don't know, a 5x7 or something even bigger than that. But I love the way this one has all of the colors, and it almost looks like a tapestry, but it's definitely bold and rich. I have a dog, a lot of you guys have met Molly, and she tracks in dirt and dust and all kinds of sand from outside because we live in Florida. So having a dark rug would be perfect. And it would also warm up the floor during those cold winter months, because I know my flooring does look like wood, but it's actually tile, so it gets quite cold in the winter months. Now I also wanted to share with you this image from Studio McGee. I loved this image, and I know it's a Halloween image, but this image is the inspiration for what I did back in the back corner. I know it's kind of blurry and you can't see that. That's by design. Eventually I will share that with you in a future video, so don't forget to subscribe so that you won't miss out on that. But I loved the way they sort of paired the black, which I have a black cabinet there, with a lot of the warm tones. It's got the brown ribbon on the wreath, and then it's got the gold mirror, which I do have a brass mirror above my cabinet. So I thought that was a really nice way to pair the look that I have going on with this fall image. Now they kept it simple and it looks like they're using it for Halloween, but this easily could be transitioned for a fall look as well for an entry table if you just removed the crow and the witch hat and replace that with something a little bit more fall inspired. But I just thought this was beautiful. It's very pleasing to the eye. It's very sort of warm and welcoming and rich, and I love that black bold color on the cabinet. So I sort of played around with some ideas on how to make my corner of my little house look like that. Now I also wanted to share with you these absolutely gorgeous ribbed candle holders on Amazon. They're beautifully crafted. They look just elegant and simple. I have two things that I love when it comes to candles, especially for the fall and winter. I love frosted candles. If you have been following me for a while, you know I say that a lot, especially when I go to Hobby Lobby. And I love having the ribbing. And so I actually found, let me just show you really quick. So I haven't shared this with you yet, but I actually found this one at Hobby Lobby, which I thought was absolutely stunning. It's got the frosted that I love, and it also has the ribbing. I cannot wait to light this one. It came with this really beautiful copper lid, and I thought this one was really elegant. When you're looking at this image here though, you can see that the glass is not frosted, but it definitely gives off that same sort of clean lines look that I really love. I may end up getting some of these on Amazon just to kind of place around and bring in sort of those warm, rich tones. And again, I do use browns for the Christmas season, so these could be used for the fall and for Christmas. So, you know, always think ahead when you're planning your decor, especially with your purchases. Well guys, that's gonna do it for the fall planning today. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at some of the things that have been catching my eye on Pinterest. And next week we start the decorating. So until then, if you haven't checked out the video that I did recently to share last year's inspiration, I'll link it right there for you. And in the meantime, hit that subscribe button so that you can join me next week when we start 2024's fall decorating. Thanks for being here today, guys. I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.